Welcome to America's Freedom Seminar.
Comparing opposites before deciding. The Founding Fathers built the Constitution using these principles. In other words, without these principles, it is impossible to build a moral government. Now let's look at the alternative. Those who promise us everything we want in trade for our liberty. They promise heaven to all, but use fear and force. Why won't they use the principles of liberty? Because under liberty, they can't feed their insatiable and selfish lust for power. Power not deserved, but taken from the rest of us. Therefore, they will lie and cheat anywhere they can to replace moral principles with the following. The end justifies the means. Do whatever it takes, and we'll crush you if you get in our way. Next is enforced servitude. This is slavery, more like being a prisoner of war. Obey the government or you'll be considered a traitor. Laws will be imposed on you by the dictator's whim. Your masters know best, they say. State ownership takes away your right to own and manage your own property. The big lie is that owning your own property is selfish and greedy. Fact: without private property, your freedom stops at the end of your fingertips. Although government will try, it cannot possibly manage all properties efficiently, making mutual prosperity impossible. Now we're going to quote a remarkable declaration on American government by a former president, Calvin Coolidge. Pay attention to his summary of our constitutional system. Our government rests on religion. We have already seen that religious principles are the engine that generates freedom, justice, and safety. If you recall, some of these were honesty, the golden rule, and loving your neighbor. It is from that source, religious principles, that we derive our reverence for truth and justice, for equality and liberty, and for the rights of mankind. Unless the people believe in these principles, and let's quickly review them again: truth, justice, equality, liberty, and for the rights of mankind, unless the people believe in these principles, they cannot believe in our government. In other words, American political principles are also religious principles. This fact is becoming clearer as we proceed. Let's review this great quotation from President Coolidge. American political principles are religious principles. We have plenty of evidence for this if we pay attention. Here we see the Ten Commandments carved into the Supreme Court chambers. The President continues, there are only two main theories of government in the world. One rests on righteousness, the other rests on force. One appeals to reason, the other appeals to the sword. One is exampled in a republic, the other is represented by a despotism. Let's summarize what we have just read. Remember, this is the source of American liberty. First of all, he stated that our government rests upon religion. We'll chart the two contenders for control of our government today: righteousness versus force, reason versus the sword. A republic where people take individual responsibility and take care of each other, or else we allow despotism, the sorry story of mankind for most of our history on this planet. Liberty or dictatorship. The choice is ours. For our next lesson, we'll talk about growing more freedom.